Last time out in the Youth Academy Challenge save, we continued to suffer the Superpuchar Polski curse as we lost 2-0 to Lech Poznan. We're now at September and I'm hoping things have improved and we finally have gotten into the Champions League phase for the first time in many years. Have we done something productive? Well, would you know it, our first game back was actually in the Ekstraklasa against Lech Poznan and we beat them 3-0. They had a player sent off in the 36th minute and it really makes me wonder, why could we not do this against them in the Super Cup? Seriously, why is it that we did this in the league but not in the cup? I'm so confused. Wolf Parhof was the next team that we took on in the Ekstraklasa, again away from home for some reason, and we blew a 2-goal lead and almost didn't win this game, but thankfully Robert Kowalski did score a winning goal. Davidovich missed a penalty which Nasser got sent off for conceding because it was a professional foul, and the fact that we didn't win by 4-2 and that we conceded twice is disappointing. 1, the fact we conceded 2 goals. 2, the fact we were forced to win in the 90th minute of the game. Disappointing as far as I'm concerned. But still, we had a next game against Budbeck Natisha and we beat them by 3-0. Davidovich gets a goal, Robert Kowalski gets a brace. Robert Kowalski has remembered how to score and I'm so happy with him right now. And Dori Jazinski has been injured the first couple of games, so that's why he's not been starting and hasn't scored yet. Davidovich is just really good again, and I am so happy we got someone as good as him in our lineup now. Wieslat Vorz was our next opponent, and we went behind in the 31st minute of the game, but then came back from behind to score 2 goals in 6 minutes to make it 2-1 before halftime, before Alexander Prem, who I brought on as a striker, scored to make it 3-1. So Jazinski gets his first goal of the season, Supreme gets his first goal of the season, both as strikers, and Davidovich once again gets a goal. And an assist this time. He's really good. Davidovich has become a superstar this year for me. Oh, and Kowalski got injured, that's why he's not playing, but that's beside the point. The next game we had was in the Champions League. Champions Path playoffs first leg against Bravo, and we beat them by 4-0. And finally, we might be about to break our curse in this competition and actually get to the league phase of the Champions League for the first time in many years. It's been about 3 years, but that's beside the point. We are going to get there for the first time in about 2 years. We've lost in the playoffs for the last 2 times, and I'm disappointed by it, but okay. We then took on Madon and beat them by 0-0 to continue our incredible league form of 5 wins in 5 to begin our year, and I'm delighted by it. Yes, they had a man sent off later on, but they only had 3 shots on goal in the first place and 1 shot on target. But we did our job, we got the winning goal, we're winning again, and I'm delighted by it. And then we decided to lose 1-0 to Bravo in the second leg of the Champions League Champions Path playoff. Now, admittedly, I did rotate the squad a little bit because I thought, okay, we could work around this. We don't have to worry so much. It got to the point that some of the players were unhappy with the lineup and they decided to throw the game, it felt like. So, why are my players being idiots again? Oh, yeah, there was a thing that happened in the transfer window that I should talk about, but that's beside the point because we lost 1-0 to Bravo in Slovenia. Not ideal that we continued our wretched form against some questionably good teams, but we didn't lose overall, so we're in the Champions League phase, which is great. I just wish we had better opponents. And then we decided to lose to Wisla Krakow in the last game we had before we met up, 2-1. And I wish I knew why we lost this game, because I still don't know. Now, the match momentum says that we were the better team in a lot of the game, and that they had some quick spurts of really good momentum, which they took advantage of, but we really should not be losing this game, and I'm disappointed by the fact that we did. But still, as things stand, we do stand top of the table. Not unbeaten, much to my own disappointment. Wisla Krakow are actually in 3rd place, so suddenly it doesn't look as bad, but Robert Kowalski has got 6 goals and 3 assists in the first 6 matches with an average rating of 8.52. I do not know why he's suddenly become really, really good, because the last couple of years, he's not really been outstanding, and he's only a good player. He's not very strong, but for some reason, this year he's decided to just turn up and remember how to be good in front of goal. Last year, he was terrible by his own high standards and my own high standards of him, and he's already got more goals and assists this year than he did the entirety of last year. And he started 10 times in that period. He's only started 4 times in this period. So I don't know why he's doing so well, but I'm not complaining. Now, if he can match his 25 goal and 4 assist tally of his 2028-29 season, that would be outstanding. I don't think he will, though, but it'd be nice if he did. Now, Okay has actually left us for Czechia for 3.3 million. I'm actually happy that he's got the move for himself more than it is for me. I'm happy with the money, but for him to get the move to another team in our division and actually be starting, he's a good player for this division. I'm happy for him. He's been playing in Europe as well. Not that they qualified or anything, but I'm happy he's actually got a club that he's a starter at and he's a regular star for them. So great that he's doing so well. But with Kowalski in his way, he was never going to be the first team. And in fact, he was only going to be our 5th choice or 5th best player in the position. So it made sense to let him go. He's also 29. So any young player that was going to come through, he would be in the way of. And I think letting Okay leave us, it was a good call. And it also shows you just how good our team is, that this guy is considered a good player and he's only considered a 2.5-star current ability for the team. So there you go. Now, Mitor is not a player I was expecting to let go of this year on loan, but he kicked up such a fuss about the fact that I wasn't letting him go to France that I actually had to get rid of him so he would stop destroying the morale of the team. And I did not want to let this guy go, so he has caused me more headaches than I'd like to admit, and I don't know what to do with him because I think he was good. He started trying to get off the bench twice this year, and last year was a regular starter, 23 starts. So for him to suddenly say, oh, actually, I'm no longer wanting to be here, I'm too good for the country, I'm too good for the division, was a bit of a stunner to me. I don't know why he was so upset by it. So I sent him out on loan because I've got enough centre-backs who are good enough to be part of my team that can come in and just take his place anyway. And quite frankly, I don't need the attitude. I don't need a fickle personality player to be a nuisance. So he's off to the Czech Republic, which is full of really good teams this year. So hopefully he gets experience and comes back stronger and stops being a whiny little child. But those are the only real sales I made that were significant, or sales and loans I made that were significant. There are a few players that also went out on loan to other clubs in our division or in the country. Union St. Louis actually took some players on loan from us, which is fine. And there are some younger players that I just sent out and sold as well, but that's fine. We made 3.6 million this year, and as far as I'm concerned, that's great. I'm happy we've got these moves done. So I'm now going to introduce you to someone that I'm going to be planning on making my head of development in the near future. But first, context is needed. My current head of youth development is Jose Cruz. He has been with us for the last 8 years at this point. Very productive, very good person to have in the team. He's got resonant personality. He's been really productive over the years. Refuses to get a coaching badge, which is why I'm thinking of getting rid of him for the last couple of years, but has been productive and been very useful with the players he's brought through the youth system. But I'm looking to get rid of him and replace him with someone that's about 20 years his junior. Now, Sebastian Vasquez has just gained a Continental Pro license. I didn't realize he just gained that, so that's news to me as well. But he's my second team assistant manager. He's got a model citizen personality and somehow generated at Sunderland. I don't know why either, but he's got an English and Colombian nationalities. He's been with us for the last 4 years. I've been developing his coaching ability for the last couple of years. I've literally financed all of his coaching badges, and I'm thinking of making him a head of youth development. He's got a better reputation, so that helps. And if I compare him to Jose Cruz, Yes, there's a few things we need to work on. He's not actually any better in the working with youngsters or his judging player ability or potential, but he's got the better personality, he's got the bigger reputation, and he actually has the vertical tiki-taka style I'm using. He's got the same formation, so that's fun. The second preferred formation is different, yes, but I look at this guy and I think, well, he could be useful, really, really useful. I don't know about you. I just feel like that Vasquez could become my head of youth development in the near future, and I don't know why. It excites me so much, but there you go. What would you do? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this down below, because I haven't really decided yet. I might give Jose Cruz another year, but if we don't get Jose Cruz to develop his abilities and get a new coaching badge, I might just get rid of him. Just because of that. I'm petty like that. He is 20 years younger as well, so I have legitimate reason to do this, and I feel like that when Jose Cruz retires, Vasquez is going to be my head of youth development, even if he can't do the role. It's weird like that. I'm just trying to figure out what I can do with it, honestly. This year, we're in the Champions League for the very first time in a very long time. It feels like it's been about a decade at this point, but we're in the Champions League, and we've got some interesting opponents to talk about. So, my opponents in the Champions League are Monaco, Schalke, Eintracht Frankfurt, Manchester City, Porto, Benfica, Real Sociedad, and Liverpool, which is not ideal to say the least. So if I'm going to look at this list, I'm going to show you why we might have got these opponents, because I can literally use this as an example here now. We've been given Liverpool and Man City because they're the top two. They are both pot 1 teams, so that's how I know. And also the fact that they are literally listed in the coefficients chart, so that's fun. We've been given Monaco and Sociedad because they're literally the next 2 teams in the list, so that's why we got those 2 teams. So they're the pot 2 teams in my list. So the 2 pot 3 teams that we've given are Eintracht Frankfurt and Porto, so that's not great. And the 2 pot 4 teams, well, I've got to scroll down a little bit to find them. Schalke and Benfica. So that's how we've been given these teams. It's not ideal, to say the least. Schalke actually qualified for the league phase because of their league performances. Benfica had to qualify for the league phase. I would have loved to have some of the easier opponents. And I'm looking at Konyaspor, for example. Kaikrat, for example, been another team that I would have loved to have been given. Slava Bratislava, just for revenge. I would have loved to get given for the pot 4 teams, but hell, even this team from Denmark I would love to get given, but no, I got given the harder teams because, of course, I did. For pot 3 teams, I would have loved like a Sparta Prague if they were pot 3. A pot 4 team I would have been okay with Anderlecht, Red Bull Salzburg, Genk, for example. I've beaten those teams in the past. Sparta Prague if they were in pot 4. I don't think I could have got an easier opponents really because my pot 1 teams, I'm happy it's English teams and not German teams, for example, or French teams, because PSG probably would have been harder. If I got English teams in the lower seeds, I would have been struggling a bit more, I think. Like, I would have got them in pot 2. But I don't know, I feel like I've been unlucky with the pot seeds, but it's one of those things I need to talk about. That being said, though, Europa League, we do have a team in this competition, and it's Lech Poznan. Again, they actually almost qualified through the Champions League, but they got beaten by Slavia Prague, so that's unfortunate for them. But they are in the Europa League at least. Unfortunately, no other Polish clubs made it into Europe because they were all beaten, and it was very disappointing. So we're going to use this as a way to see the teams that qualified for Europe this year, and we're going to find this team first. So they were in the Europa League, and they got knocked out by Rapid Vienna, which, to be fair, not an easy draw. It is Rapid Vienna, I'm not complaining about that, but I wish they did better, I really do. They got knocked out by Dinamo Kyiv on penalties in the Europa League, though, so very unlucky to have lost on penalties. It's just one of those things, unfortunately enough. Now, Jagiellonia, we saw, had been playing in Europe. Okay had played for them, and they were knocked out by Banik Ostrava, so again, not great that a Czech team has knocked out one of our teams, unfortunately enough. Well, Remek Ladon were knocked out by an Albanian team, and I still don't even know how they did it. They literally got knocked out by Football Club Partizani, and I'm so disappointed. They got knocked out by Sevilla. So at least they had a credible reason to be knocked out. The fact that Sevilla were in the third quarterfinal round of the Europa Conference League is actually mental to me, but there you go. But yes, as we stand, we've got 2.7 points in Europe. The fact we're in the Champions League could be useful, but I don't expect much. Czech Republic have got the joint most coefficient points this year with Portugal. And I could literally use this as a way to figure out where we're going to be this year. Albania have got more points than us because they knocked one of our teams out. And I'm frustrated by that. Oh, man. If only my other teams were not rubbish. I genuinely might need to start loaning players out to the teams in my country just so they can actually get stronger. And so I can get better developed players as well, which is a win-win for me. But it's just frustrating that I know my teams can do better and they should do better, but they're not doing it right now. Speaking of us, though, we're now actually the second best team in the country on odds because Davidovic is now in the Media Dream 11. And yes, he's still here and nobody tried to pick him up. Espanyol want him, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think Espanyol can actually get him. Even though they got a lot of money, I don't think they can get him really at this point in time. They got Tycoon. Never mind, they might change a few things. That's 4 years ago. They got a Tycoon takeover. Oh, lovely. The fact I didn't know this until now is a bit annoying, but what can you do? Have they just been promoted? Not recently. Not since 2034, but they won the league there, so... Oh, that'd be fun, isn't it? So I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. How do you think we're doing in Europe this year? And will I be distracted enough to the point I won't get through to the next round of the Cup again for the second year running? The League and Cup double is my aim this year now. It really is. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.